Hello, my love. Mira Kelly here. And I want us to talk today about the relationships that waste our time. Um, I'm specifically gonna talk about the men who waste our time, but you guys out there who are listening, this applies equally as well to the women who waste our time, your time. So it's it's a funny phrase to work with, the people who waste our time, the men who waste our time, because it's both a yes and a no. So let me explain what I mean. Um, when a woman is looking to be in a relationship, when she's feeling her clock ticking, when she's feeling the social pressure of when are you going to get married, when are you going to settle down, when are you going to find a good guy, the cultural pressure, the family pressure of the whole holidays and always being alone and showing up alone and oh God, all those heavy emotions that if you're listening this, you know what I'm talking about. So there is a ton of social, cultural, personal pressure we put on ourselves to be in a relationship, to solve the relationship problem. And so naturally, when we are in relationships that don't lead to a commitment, to a marriage, if the marriage is the ultimate goal, I suppose, when we're looking to be in a relationship. Mm, then we think of the people who come along the way as wasting our time. Now, here's the funny thing. Life will always give us exactly what we need to become that version of us who can be an energetic match in complete and full alignment to the soulmate relationship we dream of. Life will always give us the pieces that we have missing within our psyche, within our understanding. So life in its infinite generosity will bring people who are not the ultimate dream, but will give us a piece for us to get to the ultimate dream. So in that sense, the people who waste our time are actually a blessing. They are profoundly important and essential to the journey, even though it's the tendency to discredit them and call them a zero. I heard somebody use that phrase the other day, calling somebody they dated that zero, and I was just laughing so hard because, it was just such a funny thing for me to hear. And so we have this tendency to discredit the experience. But you see, the silly thing is that as we discredit the experience, we are also discrediting the learning we get from that 0% experience, right? From the guy who wasted our time. So please, when you deal with the breakup, when you heal your heart from that breakup, I really invite you to actually look for the lesson. How did that person contribute to you? See the person not as somebody who wasted your time, but who actually enlarged you, helped you, benefited you, was a gift from God to bring you to exactly where you want to go. And then you get to actually make use of the gift that this person gave you. Because when you don't acknowledge the value they served you, you cannot also really appreciate and acknowledge the lesson, right? If you're just like, oh, what a waste of time, what an idiot, whatever the things that people say when they're heartbroken and angry and frustrated and faithless and hopeless after a breakup. And so that's the reason why when people talk about people wasting their time, I'm like, not really, because they're on your path for a very, very good reason. So use up that reason to the best you possibly can by acknowledging the lesson, by being grateful for the lesson. Um, Then there's the second part of people wasting your time, with which I completely agree. So here's what I mean by this. So events don't get formed in a linear fashion. Events really mushroom from one, kind of like stacking up of little cubes. Imagine it like mushrooming from one on top of the other on top of the other. So what this means in practicality is that when you continue to waste your own time not believing in your desire for a committed, fulfilling soulmate relationship, but you keep settling with a person who has a piece of the puzzle but really doesn't treat you the way you want to be treated, um, you're always going to get something out of that relationship. In other words, it becomes a waste of time because you're not really choosing your dream. If you stay in that relationship, there will be always something new you're gonna learn, right? Because events mushroom from one to the exploration of that one into million other patterns that it can grow into. So there will be always another lesson, another variation, another experience, another, right? And this is where codependency comes in, and the whole thing of you being stuck in a pattern. And but you will always learn something. Your soul will always learn something, even in the most repetitive, dark circumstances you and I put ourselves in. So here's how we gotta extract ourselves and say, you know what, I'm not going to allow these people, this person, this relationship to waste my time anymore. You gotta bring it back to yourself, okay? This is how this one works. You gotta remember, you love yourself first. First it's you, then it's the other person. Um, we always make it about the other person. I love them more than anything. They make me happy. We really put ourselves secondary. We forget that we are the main character in our movie. Oh, wait, let me remember. Okay, play along with me on this one. So there is a movie called The Holiday, and one of the characters is sitting in a restaurant with this older gentleman, and she's really heartbroken over this guy who never really chose her and was kind of like wasting her time, and um and um chose to get engaged to somebody else without telling her, but, always keeping her as a side piece. So anyway, she escapes from London, England, and goes all the way to Los Angeles to reinvent herself. So she's sitting at this dinner, and the guy says to her, this older gentleman says to her, you know what, I can tell that you're a leading lady. But in your life, you have been playing the role of the best friend. So this is the thing. Each one of us is here to be the leading lady in our own lives. Each one, and of course, in the movie she cries and she's like, "Oh my God, Arthur, nobody has." You can tell I have seen this movie more than once. Nobody, my a therapist has never been able to explain this so simply and so well to me after all these years of therapy, right? Like, we're here to be the leading ladies of our lives. And so when you make it about the guy, you're actually really saying, I love him more than I love myself. So I'm the best friend. I'm the servant girl. I am the unimportant one. And so the way you gotta kick this addiction to this person and to this relationship to the curb is by simply going, wait a minute, I love this person, I appreciate them, I see all the great things about them, I forgive them for their shortcomings, but you know what? I love me more. I choose to love me more. And this, my love, is how we break the karmic pattern in relationships. Please take my word for it. I can give you example upon example upon example, but let me just make the big, bright, highlighted point of by saying, I love me more and I choose me more, you solve karmic relationship challenges. And so this is how we get to say, I love me more, and I am I'm not gonna let this person waste my time anymore because I've got this big dream here, this desire for walking off into the sunset with this person holding my hand and my heart melting and me feeling blissfully happy, right? I'm gonna believe in my dream. I'm gonna choose my dream. I'm gonna love myself more. I'm gonna choose myself more. So I am excited to hear your thoughts on people wasting our time in relationships. Have you had that challenge? How you solved it? What you came out of it learning? And all of it. I love you. I will talk to you soon.